Alright, so I was looking around on YouTube and I noticed that nobody actually made a video like this comparing Frank's 2-star powers ever since Sponge got a buff. So I'm going to be doing that today. Which star power should you use for Frank? Or with Power Grab, whenever Frank gets a kill, he gets a buff allowing him to deal an additional 50% damage for 12 seconds. This damage buff is actually huge and changes a ton of interactions with other brawlers, as well as makes him much more of a threat. And Sponge automatically gives Frank an extra 1100 health added to his total health, bringing his health up to 10,060. This is an insane amount of extra tankiness and the highest health in the game by far. It makes a huge difference and allows Frank to last much longer than he normally would. It also makes him much more of a threat and less likely to be messed with. Now in Gem Grab, you probably shouldn't play Frank on most maps, but if you do, I recommend using Sponge. The health buffs give a huge boost to Frank's survivability and allows him to make plays and last longer and hold more gems. Don't play Frank in Bounty. In Brawl Ball, which is Frank's best mode, he can be played on most maps. It's fairly equal, but I'd say it leans much more towards Sponge because you can get kills stolen from you easily, so Power Grab is not always the most effective. And you don't always have a chance to use it before you die or it wears off. So I recommend the extra survivability. Sponge is just the better star power here. In Siege, I recommend using Power Grab because you get a lot more kills in Siege and it's much more damage based. So when you're attacking the Ike turret, you're more likely to kill the enemy team while they're defending. And so you can deal more damage to the Ike turret, and since the bot's already tanking for you, you don't really need the extra health. But the extra health would still help. Do not play Frank in Heist, please. Now, in Solo or Duo Showdown, Frank is actually okay on some maps, but pretty much every time you want to pick Sponge. Solo and Duo Showdown don't actually let you get kills that often, so you're much more better going with the extra health than with the possibility of you actually using the star power within the 12 seconds that you have. So I recommend the extra permanent health. So overview, what we learned is that Power Grab is going to be used in situations where damage is the more important, and you probably have a healer to combat the health loss. But Sponge will be used in every other situation where survivability is the most important factor. And that's kind of important everywhere. Sponge is the better of the 2-star powers and should be prioritized getting first.